Hey, Juan in Greensboro, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses for your Polo 2070 color 5247. Of course, all frames come with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping from Italy. And I'm going to take that off, and you're going to get all the manufacturer's original packaging. And of course, again, this is the Polo 2070 color 5247 in the 54 eye size, 16 bridge, 135 temple length for those of you keeping score at home. And the 5247 is the matte black with the little platinum band in here. And of course, Polo, made in Italy. So I'm going to pop out your original demo lenses, one of which says Polo, Marco, Polo, Marco, Polo. And I'm going to take your frame, put it into the tracing element of my edger, and try and get serious. Try is the key word. But this little stylus is going to pop up, and it's going to go around and trace the shape of the right lens before doing the same thing on the left lens. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Ralph Lauren Polo frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses. And that's what we're doing today. And of course, they don't have to be prescription. You can get non-prescription lenses as well. My receipts have my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. That is the shape of your lens, only magnified. Let me minify it. And that green outline is the shape I will be cutting. Let me magnify that and make everything bigger. Man, I wish I had one of those buttons to make everything bigger, but I digress. Okay, so let's see here. Your pupillary distance, 69. The computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to hit that little plus button and go up in ½ millimeter increments until we're at 34.5. I want to go ahead and get your lenses prepped. Get you some preppy lenses for your Polos. Now your right eye reads -275 -2 at 175, -275 -2 at 179. I'm going to spin the axis wheel of my Marco 101 lensometer to 179. I'm going to take your lens out of the protective sleeve, put it in, rotate it until the, oops, I got to, hang on, getting ahead of myself. Let me put the power drum at -275. I'm doing that there. Put the lens in, rotate it until the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the optical center of your lens as I try and get centered. Check your astigmatism correction, of which you have plenty, and I'll explain all that in a little bit. And then I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses, and I'm going to mark this one R for right. Now, your left lens reads -250 -2 1/4 at 002, -250 -2 1/4. Oops, hang on, let me get everything tight here so my camera doesn't move. At 002, I'm going to spin the axis wheel ever so slightly to 002. Put your lens in. Actually, hang on, put the power drum on -250. I'm getting bad about that. I got to set the power drum. Find the optical center of your lens. Check your astigmatism correction. Make sure I find the optical center. And boom, I'm going to put 3 dots on this lens, and I'm going to label this L, which stands for not right, which is just like me. I ain't right neither. So I'm going to gather everything up, come back down here, as we say in the dirty South. Put your lens on the platform, and those are the 3 dots that I put on there. The reason I do that, your lens has to be oriented just perfectly for you to see your best. They cannot get off kilter. I can, but they can't. So, let's see. This is called a block. I like to call him Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. This is what's going to hold it in place in the edger, which is like a giant expensive lathe. So I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I have 2 left. That was close. Ignore all those up there. I only have 2 left. Now, the black side is the sticky side. That's how they stick to my fingers. I'm going to put one on one block, set that there, put one on the other block. Now, this little button on the back is a magnet. It's going to do its job 2 times, once in the edger, once here in the blocker, which you're about to see. I'm going to pull the sticker off to make the black side sticky. Get that lined up in there perfectly. Now, I've already situated your lenses. That is your optical center. And these other 2 dots tell me that it is lined up perfectly. Hang on, I'm getting there. I'm going to hit that button, and now the block is going to be applied to your right lens. Let's do the same thing now for your left lens. Grab the block, pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up that magnet with the magnet in that arm. Now your pupillary distance is mirrored from your right lens. It is now 34.5 for the left. Get those lined up in there perfectly. And hit that button. The block's going to come down and it is now applied to your left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy one. Put it on your kitchen counter, and then you can cut glasses at home. You won't need me anymore. So the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right for now. It's going to move. Let me move the camera. But this is going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center, that channel, that valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So now this magnet is going to do its job a second time. It's going to hold it in place in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. But I'm going to wait. I can't use my finger. Actually, this only costs $1. This costs $39,999. Without this, could I do that? Well, I guess I can. Okay, so that is the shape of your lens. I'm not going to polish the lenses. I am not going to put a bevel on the convex front surface of your lens. I'm only going to put a bevel on the concave rear surface of your lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. Now, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. If they were plastic, high index Trivex, I would choose that, but these are polycarbonate. And I am going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. You know, I've got a smaller flashlight. I just can't find it. But the door closes, the clamp shuts, and now the lens is going to be traced by two white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around, measuring the thickness. And you know what? Let's do something special here. Let's go, since I've got this really nice edger, I'm going to do this manually, because normally the computer picks where the bevel should go, but I'm smarter than this computer, so I'm going to actually move the bevel. So I'm going to move the bevel forward, which is going to cause the lens to go further back so you have no edge thickness towards the front of the frame. It's now going to tell me it has measured everything. I'm going to pick the percentage. Instead of 50%, I am going to only have 35%, 1/3 of the lens coming out the front of the frame with 2/3 coming out the back. Now let's hit the green arrow. Your lens is going to start up, or the cutting wheel is going to start up, and soon you will hear a grinding sound. That is my teeth because I've had too much coffee today. Now the second grinding sound you will hear is your lens as it touches down onto the cutting wheel. If you notice, you see the light flickering in the back. That is water running just to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic and high index plastic cut wet. Now your lens has begun cutting. Now, as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. As you can see here, polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. Your lens is bulletproof up to .22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. See how your lens will minify the print behind it? But yeah, your lens has both UVA and UVB protection as well as scratch coating. But we know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every couple hours at the beach or whenever you're in intense direct exposure to the sun, this is permanent and you will never need to reapply the UV coating on there. Now, not only are your lenses unbreakable and bulletproof up to .22 caliber, but they're also aspheric. Aspheric simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is completely round like a basketball in every direction. So not only are they thinner and lighter, but they also have a flatter curvature, front curvature of your lens to fit today's flat curvature frames. That's going to give you the best cosmetic fit as well as giving you a wider field of view. So when you buy glasses from people online, they charge you for plastic lenses, and then if you want to, you have to pay to upgrade to the thinner, lighter weight, unbreakable, bulletproof polycarbonate with UVA and UVB. And then it is if you want the aspheric lenses, that's a third fee. So you have to pay 3 times. This is someone else's top tier premium lens that you get for free simply by buying the frames from me. How's that for service? Now, if you notice, your lens is completely flat, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter on its own. And now it's getting the V-shaped bevel. A knife-like edge, a very dull knife, but a knife-like edge nonetheless. But your lens will be so sharp that you'll be able to cut a piece of wet tissue with this, providing that you soak the tissue in a bucket of water overnight and then use your lens to press down very hard. You just might be able to cut through that tissue. Now, if you notice, there is a little optical sawdust still attached to the edge of your lens. Now we're approaching the car wash mode. Water sprays onto your lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle to wash away that optical debris until your lens is nice and clean. Hey, that reminds me, I need a bath. You know, I needed something to tell me to take a bath, and that clinches it. Now that little arm that has come out has a little wheel at the end, something you would find at the end of a Dremel tool that is spinning very fast, and that's applying what's known as the safety bevel to the rear surface of the lens. Just so should you have any coming out the rear surface and coming in contact with the cheek, it will not be sharp. Now in just a moment, I will open this door with my mind. No, 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 no. I can do other things with my mind too. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes a couple hours, but I can do it. I just have to keep staring at it. But that's the power of my mind. Now, what was I talking about? Okay. Oh, look. See, you still have a little bit of optical sawdust. This is called Schwarf. I'm going to remove that from your lens. I love it when it comes off in one piece, like when you're cleaning the lint trap in your dryer. So I'm going to take my thumbnail and scrape that off from the edge of your lens. And I'm going to leave it on the counter for now. Once it's all off, I carefully and very neatly collect it into one pile, and then I throw it on the floor. Why do I do that? Because the clown gets to have fun at work too. Plus, if someone comes over, you know, it looks like I've been working. So again, I'm going to take your lens. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Using my thumbs, I press down. It does not want to go in. So I'm not going to force it. Although, where's my hammer? I'm going to bang that lens into your frame. But now I'm going to take it down 1/10 of a millimeter and hit the retouch button. A millimeter, for my American friends who have no clue, a millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/10 of that distance off, going around the circumference of your lens until your lens pops into the frame rather easily. I don't want to force the frame in there. The lens, it would cause your frame to stretch, or even worse, we in the business call it rolling. If you can imagine your frame being a gutter, if I were to force the lens in there and it's too tight, it would cause the bottom of your frame to roll. That will shorten the life of your frame as well as decrease the optical or the cosmetic quality of you wearing it. And because I'm a perfectionist and I cut every pair of lenses before it gets shipped worldwide, trust me, you want a perfectionist like me cutting your lenses. Although I wish I hadn't drunk so much cough syrup this morning. But I'm not coughing anymore. Okay. I know I joke around a lot, but I take my work very seriously, just not myself. I can joke around because I am a licensed professional, a licensed optician. Yeah, let's just omit the professional part. If I wasn't professional, if I wasn't knowledgeable, I have to act really, really professional. But because I know what I'm doing, I can goof off from time to time. Now again, let me open the door. No, 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 no. Let me hit the button to open up the Chuck. Thank you, Chuck, Charlie, Charles, Chucky baby. I'm going to call you Chucky baby from now on. Okay, so that is now out of there. Tuck the lens in at the outside corner using my thumbs. It still does not want to press in because, Juan, you got some astigmatism correction. Let me go another 1/10 of a millimeter. I'm sorry that it's taking a little bit longer, but again, I want you to have the best cosmetic quality, and I do not want to interrupt the structure of the frame, the integrity of the frame, only the integrity of your opinion of me as you watch this. So, if you missed any of that, let me recap. I know. Hey, I know that's bad, but you'll be telling it tomorrow. Trust me, you'll be telling that bad joke tomorrow. Rub-a-dub-dub. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Juan, did I ever tell you about the 3 holes in the ground? Well, well, well. You're thinking it just doesn't end, does it? We're still on the right lens. Wait till how many bad jokes you're gonna get on the left. See, I'm just warming up. I haven't even, you know, taken a break yet. I'm gonna take a break in between the lenses. Get some new material. See, I had to go to school for this. This was a lot of hard work. Kids today don't understand the value of hard work. Like, for instance, I went to Colombia and I worked for a drug cartel until I could save up money to go to college. I had a 3.2, what was it? Not a grade point average, blood alcohol content. That's it. Now again, my major in optics, I did have a minor. Her name was Debbie, but her parents took out a restraining order on me and I wasn't allowed to see her again. Okay, if you believe any of that, everyone who believes in telekinesis, raise my hand. Man, it works. Okay, so I'm going to tuck the lens in the outside corner, press down at the nose. Now it snaps in there. Don't make it any easier for me. Take your left lens, put it into the Chucky baby, and flip that over to L, which stands for not right. And again, hit the green arrow. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 off-white styluses. Going around making sure the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. Follow my finger, follow the picture. Where's Waldo? And of course, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel once I tell it to. And again, I told it to have 1/3 coming out the front and 2/3 out the back, so that you would have no edge thickness whatsoever with your prescription. How's that for a cosmetic quality? None whatsoever, because you got a guy like me working on things. So I'm going to go ahead and take this block off. Go ahead and pull that sticker off. It's no longer needed. Let's come down here to my Marco 101 lensometer. I'm going to put the lens in just over that red dot, and I'm going to read the prescription. I'm going to spin the axis wheel back to 179, which is the axis for your right eye, and I am getting minus 275, 2, 2 1/4, 250, 275, 3. I'm 1 tick mark away from 3, 1/4 away from 3. Now the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0, which we in the business called Plano, which everyone else in Texas calls a city. But it goes up in there in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. So let's see. You need 11 steps of correction for your farsightedness. You are nearsighted. So you need 11 steps of minification. That's why you have a minus sign. Without your glasses on, everything is too large in real life. So your lens will minify 11 steps. So it makes everything the correct size. Now you have 2 diopters of astigmatism correction. Now there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. No one freaks out when you hear that, but they freak out when they hear that word. Astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. So this first number makes everything the correct size. The second number, additional 8 steps, 8 quarters, 2 full diopters of astigmatism correction, is what makes everything clear and crisp. Now, think of astigmatism correction as the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn a fine-tune knob starting at 0 over here at this corner, going to 180 here, with 90 being in the middle, 180 there, 270 at the bottom for those of you keeping score at home. But we're going to turn that knob starting at 0 over here at the cap. Follow me, pay attention. We're going to turn it past 90, and we're almost going to stop at 180, but we're going to stop just before there at 179. So, let me check your astigmatism correction at 2 diopters. And we end up at minus 475, 1 tick mark away from 5. Do you remember high school algebra 1 where you add like signs together? Yeah, me either. Don't worry about that. But let's use today's terms. If someone had borrowed $2.75 and then they borrowed another $2, they would owe you $4.75. $4.75 in the red. So your left eye only needs less correction there. 10 steps for farsighted correction, but you need 1 more additional quarter step in your astigmatism correction but we're still going to end up with the same combined powers. 250 and 2 1/4 is 475. So you actually have the same powers in your eyes. Now, these first two numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. And it really doesn't matter. It just tells me where to fine-tune things. Now, it does matter to me. It shouldn't matter to you. But you think 179 in one eye and 002 in the other, you think that's very far apart, but actually it is not. It is only 2 degrees apart because, again, a straight line is 0 to 180. On your right eye, you're at 179. On your left eye, you're at 2. So you're only 2 degrees away from the 180 meridian and only 1 degree away on your right eye. So those numbers are actually very close to the same direction, but many numbers apart. So I'm going to dry your left lens off. Oh, got a little bit of schwarf there. I'm going to use my thumbnail to scrape it all off. And then once it's all under the counter, you know it's coming, wipe it on the floor. My wife hates it when I do that. Sorry, honey, I'm just going to have to buy you a bigger anniversary present this year. So, I'm going to tuck the left lens at the outside corner. Using my thumbs, I press down at the nose. That snaps in perfectly, as Curly from the Three Stooges say. Certainly. And let's come back down here. I'm going to put your lens in right above your optical center. Back into my lensometer. I'm going to spin the axis wheel back to 002. I'm going to look inside the eyepiece on my very dusty Marco 101 lensometer. Now is a good time for you to see how dusty it is on top. And I'm getting, what am I getting? I'm getting minus 250, exactly halfway between 2 and 3. Check your astigmatism correction, of which you have 2 1/4 diopters. And we ended up at 475 again. So that is made perfectly. I gotta quit saying that. Your pupillary distance is 69. I'm gonna turn the card around, and when I place my thumb against your right lens, place the 0. We're getting 69 millimeters on the left lens, so that is made perfectly too. Now, this frame sells for $179, and of course you're gonna get 1 free pair of clear single vision lenses in there. Now, Juan, when you get these in the mail, and of course, I always explain this while I'm cleaning your lenses, let me do that. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose, and there's a small chance that these could fit too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one lens is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm no different, and I'll show you in just a moment. But because of that, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them, but I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There's no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off, mine wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. I'm going to flip these over, press down, there is no wobble. I'm going to close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. Same amount of tension on each spring hinge. So Juan, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Well, let me hang on. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Juan, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses for your Polo 2070, color 5247 in the 54 eye size. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.